We lead with breaking news at 3 o'clock. The SADC mission in the eastern DRC will be terminated. SADC announced the decision after an extraordinary summit held by heads of state today. Troops will start to withdraw in phases. South Africa, Malawi and Tanzania were part of the SADC mission in the DRC. All have lost troops during the recent attacks by M23 rebels. So the M23 coalition having overrun large parts of the eastern DRC, it seems that events have overtaken the SADC military mission. The summit says that it's reaffirmed the commitment to supporting future interventions aimed at bolstering peace in the Congo.
The medals are for exceptional dedication and acts of bravery in defense of the country. General Mapanga told the troops that equipment deployed to the eastern DRC is on its way back. 14 SA troops were killed in an ambush during clashes with M23 rebels not far from the city of Goma.
What is currently happening, we have got signatures from the SADC Secretariat with regard to the backloading of the equipment. Remember, our equipment was still in shuttle. Personnel had been repatriated, so we have started with the repatriation of equipment to Malawi because, remember, this is a SADC effort.
Am I the only one who's concerned about how the powers and the leaders are treating its people or their people? Am I the only one who's concerned about how the government is treating its residents and our soldiers? Fascinatingly enough, whenever the government decides that they're gonna mess with South Africans, basically run over them, fuck with them in real time, it doesn't only mean they're gonna mess with the poor individuals, the usual targets. We've seen, especially in the past with the stories that we've come across, that it's also happening to soldiers. Our David Goggins, our Arnold Schwarzeneggers, our heroes. So what actually happened in DRC? What actually happened? In December of 2023, South Africa deployed approximately 2,900 soldiers to the Democratic Republic of Congo as part of the South African Development Community SADC mission in DRC. Semi-DRC, let's say. The mission aimed to support the DRC government in combating armed groups, particularly the M23 rebel faction. However, by March 2025, the mission was deemed to be a failure. Why? How? Kanjani? I used to live my life believing that South Africa had a decent military, a strong military. You know what I'm talking about? But the failures and everything that had happened here, the details that I'm about to read through, it makes me question if this was done deliberately, if this was some sort of sabotage, or if someone was paid. Hear me out, bro. Hear me out. Semi-DRC's mandate was to assist the DRC government in restoring peace and security in the eastern regions of the DRC, which had been plagued by the resurgence of armed groups like the M23 rebels. You know what fascinates me? What I always ask myself, especially when it comes to like rebels in different countries, you know what I'm talking about? If you think about the Hamas, if you think about, not that it's the truth, but if you think of the Hamas, if you think of the M23, you know, these African countries and, you know, people that are plagued by rebels, I always ask myself, where do these guys get their weapons? Especially in this story, for rebels to outmaneuver an actual operation, you know what I'm talking about? Like, the SANDF, to be outmaneuvered by rebels, it makes you wonder, again, if this was all intentional. I may be wrong. There were challenges, like I said, there were challenges. Limited deployment, first of all. Despite plans to reach a force strength of 5,000 troops by July 2024, only 1,300 had been deployed by October 2024. Yabo? Which is far below the estimated 6,000 M23 rebel troops allegedly supported by approximately 4,000 Rwandan forces. You telling me that whoever was in charge of this mission failed to understand this and failed to deploy what was needed? Really? We lost 14 South African soldiers during clashes with the M23 rebels in Sake and Goma. 14. The semi-DRC forces were outgunned and outmaneuvered by the M23 rebels, again Ganjan, highlighting the mission's limited military capabilities. Like I said before, this almost seems intentional, like it was done, like this mission was sabotaged intentionally. Despite the funds going missing, especially for the South African, you know, the deployed soldiers in South Africa, despite all that, those funds going missing and them not getting paid what they were supposed to getting paid, not deploying the right amount of soldiers, this seems too good to be true. This is not a mistake. This wasn't a mistake. I must say it here, and I must say it again. This seems intentional, as if this mission was almost set up to fail from the beginning, G. From the beginning.
In the beginning.
I mean, reports indicated that semi-DRC forces faced ambushes and mortar attacks, suggesting deficiencies in intelligence and situational awareness. Rwanda's alleged support for the M23 rebels complicated the mission's objectives. In response to the attacks on the semi-DRC forces, South Africa warned Rwanda of a potential, quote, declaration of war, escalating diplomatic tensions. Following the mission's termination, however, semi-DRC troops were escorted through Rwanda to Tanzania, indicating the intricate regional relationships at play. Now, I'm going to close with this. What I want to know is, if the semi-DRC troops were sabotaged, if this whole mission was meant to fail, I want to know who's responsible. Who can we blame? I'm not looking for someone to blame so I can blindly blame. I want to understand if this is just the South African government involving itself in things that don't need so much of your involvement. What I mean is, if it's the South African government trying to fuck with its citizens again. I want to know why. But also, if it is the case, maybe I'm reading too much into it, maybe it's not the case, maybe I haven't done my research properly. But if it's the case, I want to know how much whoever is getting paid for this. For us to lose 14 soldiers on a mission, outmaneuvered by rebels, probably, allegedly supported by Rwandan forces. I want to know how much you're getting paid. It seems like it's always been money, right? I don't know, man. I just feel like this is sus. This is too good to be true. And if you feel the same way, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for future videos. And check the channel description if you want to support the channel.